It's Tuesday, August 21st, 2012. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geeknights. Tonight, CounterStrike Go. Oh
go,
my God.
go.
Circle around back.
Let's do this.
You know, suddenly my life got really exciting. Like, just in the last few weeks, PAX became a few weeks away, and CounterStrike Go, I can play it.
Yeah.
And I haven't done much else except wait for PAX and play Counter-Strike.
So I got this awesome gaming opening bit. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
So on Sunday, I met up with some people in the Prospect Park, and we played this game that I got once as part of a Kickstarter called Johann Sebastian Joust. Have you heard of this game?
I have not.
It was sort of this indie thing.
Wait, that explains, because I was in Prospect Park on Sunday, and I was on my way home, and I pulled up Google Maps to find a better route because I wanted to take Phil and Chie up Bedford Avenue to show them the gradient of conservative Jews to less conservative to hipster to full hipster.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, Scott's like right there. I wasn't sure. I was like, why is he down here?
Anyway, so it's not a game. It's one of those games that's hard to play because you need people and you need equipment and you need stuff. But these people had it, so I went down there. And basically what they did is they ran the software on the MacBook, and they had a Bluetooth speaker. Actually, they plugged a wire into it eventually because they save a Bluetooth channel. And they used PS1 Motion Plus, not Motion Plus, what are they called? Move.
The lollipops.
Yeah, the lollipops. Did you know that the ball on the end of those is squishy?
Yes.
I've never used one, so I didn't know that. Anyway, so the way the game works is pretty simple. Everyone grabs a lollipop, and you push any button on it to connect to the Blue computer, and the computer runs it, not the PlayStation, right? And everyone joins, and everyone gets a color, or you can do team mode, but we did every man for himself. And you get a color, so you push it, and it goes green, and it makes a lightsaber noise, like bzzz, but all the noise comes out of the central speaker. Anyway, then it'll go, ready, go, and the game begins, and music starts playing, and the music is Bach. Now, you can't just load in any music, which is disappointing because the data file that goes with the music, and the data file sort of, tells the game when the music is getting fast and when the music is getting slow. So when the music is slow, you have to go slow, and the music is fast, you can go fast. And all there is in the game is this. It's last person alive wins. If your lollipop PlayStation thing, or you can use Wiimotes, but you won't have the handy light on top. It's better with the PlayStation ones. If it is disturbed too much, it will explode and turn red and then go out completely, and you'll be dead, which means you're out.
So I'm trying to, without disturbing mine, disturb yours.
Exactly. Now, at the same time...
Can I kick you in the shin and grab it?
Listen, I'm going to get to that. So
that seems like the basic strategy.
If it's disturbed a little bit, it'll start to blink and warn you and vibrate a little bit that you are, on the edge. Okay, so of course I'm like, how do I win this game? And everyone else is just sort of playing casual for fun, and I'm like, no, I play to win.
Did you kick everybody in the shins?
Well, okay, so I tried. First of all, I asked them, I'm like, can I just fucking kick you? What can I do? So I tried many things. I came up with the idea, and this idea worked. Instead of holding on to the thing, I put it under my armpit, giving me one arm free and a half an arm free, whereas other people were holding it in a hand, right? Which was giving them one half an arm less than I had, for doing things. Also, putting it on my body was more stable than your shaky hand.
Because the radius...
Your hand is at the end of a lever, which is a very bad place to put it. Then I came with an even better idea, and I held it like a running back holds a football, or like holding a baby, as opposed to holding it just close to the body so that, it's not at the end of a lever where it's going to move a lot. Okay, so then the next thing I did is I just started far away from everyone else, the maximum Bluetooth range. Everyone else sort of started near each other, and I'm like, before the match started, I'm fucking far away. Everyone else kills each other, and then I go in, and there's only one person left, so I come in at least second place, right? No matter what.
Not a bad strategy.
Yeah, it didn't work so well when the last person alive was, of course, the strongest of the... And it's not like it's not like a game where there was health, like they were weakened, like Smash Brothers or something, right? They're at full health when you go in there, and you're at the same level of health as they are. So good luck. One time, I was able to get a kill by pretending to kick someone, and he flinched. That was a good move, but
That's
it
not bad.
didn't work twice.
So you're not allowed to actually kick people in the shin?
Well, you don't want to do anything that's illegal or will cause a real fight, because you're in a public park, right? So I don't think you can punch people in the face because that's illegal.
What do you Fight Club it?
I don't know, but that's up to you. We were in a park with strangers, so
So Fight Club, they don't know who you are.
One thing people did to me a lot was they would, I would be like I was tucked in, right, and sort of trying to dodge and defend. I was all defense early on, and I wasn't very good at offense. They would just put their hand on my shoulder and shove, and then even though I'm facing them sideways to I tried to dodge it, but they would shove, and then my whole body just goes backwards, and it's like
So shoving's okay.
They shoved.
How about pushing?
I think pushing and shoving are both
Body
okay.
checking?
You wouldn't want to do that because you're guaranteed to lose if you body check.
What if I shoulder check and as I jump forward, I keep my hand in the same position?
It's Bruce Lee could do that. Bruce Lee would be the king of this game.
I can work on that. You can treat it like fencing.
I think the best attack was sneak up behind someone who doesn't realize you're there and just
go, what?
No, you just whack their controller. I smacked like 3 controllers just down to the ground, just like bam. Right? That's the best move is hit the controller directly, just like smack, and they're guaranteed to be out. There's no defense against that.
Not bad.
But yeah, this game is pretty fun. It's a little bit flawed if everyone was like us playing to win, or if you don't draw the line clearly as to what's legitimate moves. It also crashed a lot and had lots of technical difficulties.
So you got to play Running Man.
Yeah, it was difficult in the park to always sort of hear the music coming from the one sort of crappy little speaker they had. If you played it in, say, an enclosed space with a stereo that everyone could hear very well, it would work better.
So here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be worth it at a convention that's not full of jackasses to bring it and play it?
If you have enough money that you can buy, I think it supports 7 or 8 of the controllers. So how much is a PlayStation
So
Move
here's
controller?
a better idea. PAX is coming.
Yep.
Put out the call. Be like, yo, dogs, bring your PlayStation controllers to PAX.
All right.
And we'll do this.
You also need a space large enough that is sort of a safe space where people can fall down or push or,
Outside of PAX, somewhere nearby.
Yeah, maybe in that cool park.
That's going to end with someone falling 5 stories to their death, I think.
That's the cool part.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is worth checking out if you can. I mean, I got a copy of like this alpha version because I kickstarted who knows what back in the day. I'm not sure exactly how you get it. Someone else took care of all those logistics. I did not, inquire enough.
Nah.
But yeah, Johann Sebastian Joust.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I did not know about this, and I didn't know you did that. I just thought you were biking in Brooklyn.
I also biked there.
Yeah. So if you didn't hear the, I guess, news that was predicted however long ago this thing existed.
Day 1 when I heard about it.
So OnLive, which purported to sell a system of playing games on your computer remotely, meaning all the processing and video card and stuff happens at some remote data center, and your key presses. It was bullshit. It was basically, it was like
Go listen,
one of those,
we did an episode. We did this as a news the day it was announced.
I'll try to find that, but
Yeah.
basically, the deal was it was for people who don't have a computer strong enough to do this on their own, or who can't afford a real computer or whatever. It was stupid. We said it was stupid.
They gave out free consoles at some packs.
The main
Which one was it?
reason it was stupid, in case you forgot, was that, sure, maybe if they got it to actually work, which back then we weren't even sure if it would work.
They sort of got it to work.
They did. But video cards and home computers are still progressing at such a rate that these things would rapidly become obsolete because they wouldn't be able to play the newest game anyway.
Well, I mean, all it needs to do is stream 1080p, right? It's not going to get any more streamy than that.
Well, they'd also had to deal with the input back and forth and do like prediction and lag correction and all that to make the game smooth and playable.
But in a lot of games, that doesn't matter even.
Yeah, but for a lot of games, it does.
Mm-hmm.
And the game has to be available on their platform. And basically, it was silly, and it's finally going out of business.
Yep.
But it went out of business in a complicated way.
Okay.
So on Friday, last Friday, OnLive's assets were acquired by a newly created company, OnLive.
No. How
So
about that?
they made a new company called the same name as the old company.
Well, if the new company acquires the old company, it acquires the trademark and can then rename itself to that trademark it just acquired. Like if I bought McDonald's, I could name and I was Scottco. I could rename Scottco to McDonald's and start using the McDonald's trademark because that's now my property. I just bought it.
So the way they did this is that they did not go into bankruptcy. Instead, they did something complicated. I actually had to read up a little bit called assignment for the benefit of creditors, which basically said they took the company and gave it to another company, invalidating all the stock options and any investments from any outsiders. So all the people who invested in this and all the employees who, by the way, pretty much were all laid off. At least half were laid off immediately, as far as I can tell. I think they're all going away
I thought
now.
it said half were getting hired by the new company.
Half were offered new jobs at the new company.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Whatever.
But
Why are you working at OnLive?
this thing was a disaster from day one, and I feel kind of vindicated in the fact that I said it was dumb when it happened, and
We
now it's
knew it was
gone.
dumb. Okay, so this is what the thing is. I want to, who cares about OnLive, right? Here's something I do care about. It seems like in the gaming industry, you can only really succeed if your scale is enormous. Like you need to sell a zillion consoles or a zillion, right? And we sort of know this because, the reason is if you're a platform of game development,
We're only talking about platforms. Individual
Right.
games don't need scale.
You need to be very huge in order to attract developers of good games, right? Such that, people will want the console because this game's platform because this game's available on it. And so people will there'll be games for it, period, because no one's developing for you because your audience is too small. So it's like you can only really have a successful gaming platform if you're really big. And it's kind of sad because I sort of wish, wouldn't it be cool, if there wasn't just, these mega gaming platforms like Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Wii, DS, PSP, if there were, say, a bunch of medium-sized gaming platforms that weren't necessarily, super successful. They don't really need to be. They just need to be profitable, and they keep going. And
The thing is,
it would be kind of cool. I don't know how it would be possible,
well, the thing is,
but it would be neat.
for me, I have a PC. It can run any arbitrary
Well,
code.
I know that.
So I don't need a platform.
Right, but I mean,
Steam just does all these niceties for me.
But I just wish that there were just sort of these medium-sized. It was possible for there to be a medium-sized
Scott, I guess,
player in the
would
gaming
you really
world.
want in the console or platform world? What does a medium-sized player really provide other than now I got to log into this other stupid thing to play these
I
five
think
games?
what I imagine a medium-sized player to be would be something specialized.
Because
right?
all right, so Blizzard's crap,
no,
BioWare, all those
somebody makes a platform
that bullshit I have to log into for StarCraft.
No, somebody would make a console, and the console it specializes in one kind of game, right? So this is the sports game console thing, and it just fucking kicks so much ass at sports games. You
Except
have no
the
fucking
Xbox
idea.
and the PlayStation both kick ass just fine.
I mean, I'm just coming up with any example.
I
Right?
know.
There's a freaking.
I guess what do these have to offer that a PC doesn't? Because the more niche you get, the more likely it is that the people who play and make those games are all on the PC anyway.
Yeah, it would need to be something inventive that had a specialized hardware, maybe a Bimani specialized platform. It's
But you don't need a platform for that because the good part about Bimani games is that everyone has a completely unique interface.
Yeah, that's true.
And the closest thing to a platform that we had like that was In the Groove, which is gone.
I just,
I just did a bunch of research on this for PAX.
Yeah, I just wish it was possible for there to be something that was sort of unique.
There is.
Had
What
a
about
medium...
what about Direct to Drive?
Okay, sure.
That was great, wasn't it?
No. I just mean, there would be something unique that appealed to a medium-sized audience, didn't need, and even though it never grew to be super huge and everywhere, and even though it, succeeded about as well as OnLive succeeded, could be profitable and stick around and have its fans and do its thing.
But why would anyone be a fan of a platform? The important part is the games. Remember, I look at it from my perspective. I'm a gamer. And, design or whatever aside, I just want to play my games. I want to play my games in the easiest way possible.
Right, well, what if there was some cool thing?
Is it better than Steam?
It's not competing with Steam.
How not? Steam, okay.
It's some sort of device, or maybe it's a mobile thing. Who knows?
Wait, so a device.
There is some gaming platform that offers something that other gaming platforms do not. But it's not something that everyone really cares about. It's something that only certain people would care about.
Okay, so let's see. What do I care about? Keyboard and mouse, awesome first-person shooters. I have a console for that.
Well, that's
It's called
you.
my computer. All right, RTS is keyboard and mouse. Dancing games. Well, they all need a unique piece. DDR is DDR. There's dozens of DDR games. They all have. I guess that's a platform.
I'm just saying, it's
But no, it's not a
sad
platform.
that
That's just a controller. So you're saying you want a controller?
no. I'm just saying, it's
I know
sad.
you're not
Why
saying
can't there
anything,
be
I'm
a
sorry.
medium-sized player? It's all got to be go big or go home.
I
and
think for
that's-
all the reasons I just illustrated, there's no
Yeah.
benefit to a medium-sized player because Steam. Look at Steam. If you are a PC gamer of any kind, Steam's pretty much got you back.
I'm just saying, I recognize the reality of why there is no medium-sized player, but I'm saying if the reality were different, it would be nice. Imagine if there
I know, I
just
really,
a bunch of
really
medium-sized
wish
players.
Higgs bosons were made of chocolate. But they're not.
I'm just saying.
I don't see any utility in this. I don't see another platform. All right, Scott, the Ouya.
Ouya is not.
Ouya.
That's not going anywhere.
But it's a platform.
It's too small.
It's a
and
medium-sized player.
It's not. He doesn't
It's
offer
in
anything
fact
that
it's
no one else offers.
specialized for crappy droid style Angry
Piece of
Birds
shit games. Yeah, bad idea.
This is exactly what you asked for, Scott. This
Yeah,
is
no.
what you wanted.
I'm asking. Imagine if instead of the three Wii, Xbox, PlayStation, there were 10 consoles that were all sort of even.
That would be a disaster. Is there any game that's exclusive to one and not another? Don't you bitch
so
about
now
that
you're
all the time?
You're a game developer, right? Which one of the 10 consoles do you make your game for?
Whichever one's most popular, because it's stupid to support
they're all,
any other one.
They're
'cause
all sort of equal.
Then you all collude and pick one. Because that's to everyone's benefit. What makes one of those different from another one? What makes an Xbox really different from a PS3?
It's crook slightly so.
Yeah, so there's no effective real difference other than fake exclusivity.
Yep.
It's artificial. You don't want anything. You want a thing that can't be a thing. I want to be omnipotent
I just
and
wish-
omniscient, but I want to be surprised.
I'm just saying, is that there was some competition. It would
I
be
don't
cool.
think. All right, so what should Steam do that they're not doing? That
it would
they
be cool.
do
It'd be cool if some
there
guy.
were competition.
It'd be cool if some guy could set up a gaming company in his garage and be successful, even though he didn't sell
he
a
can
jillion units.
because he sells games, not
Yeah.
consoles or platforms.
Anyway.
That's where the magic is.
Anyway,
The Ouya is stupid. And you shouldn't buy one.
you shouldn't buy anything that's not a big player because middle and small size.
And the
players.
OnLive was silly,
Will
and you shouldn't have bought one.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing, and then let's move on. So, from one article I read today, the company says it has more than 1.5 million active users. I found two other articles that say, here's a quote from one of these. Some of the news coming out of the whole event says that OnLive averaged about 1,800 users.
Yeah. How many of those 1.5 million were you gave away a free console and counted that as one?
Yeah, but
It's the same way as Facebook. It's like, well, there are this many accounts. They just did a count star on the users table. It's like, guys, that doesn't count. How many people logged in today minus spammers?
okay,
That's
so
a real number.
1,800 users. Let's see. Right now on Steam, if you go to 1,800 users, you are slightly more popular than Just Cause 2.
Okay.
And slightly less popular than Batman Arkham City, and you're an order of magnitude below Counter-Strike Source, Counter-Strike 1.6, and Counter-Strike Go.
Yeah.
Individually.
Okay.
So you got any news? And then we can bust into the best game ever?
I have a sad news. Well, sort of, I guess, something you sort of realized, you just didn't think about it specifically, right? It's like, magazines be dead.
B.
But you didn't think specifically, oh shit, Nintendo Power is done. Because it is.
You know what? I stopped subscribing to Nintendo Power right after the 200th, I almost said episode. The 200th one. I think that was a Legend of Zelda special or something. Let me look it up.
They have something special planned for the final issue. They're gonna put their
Nintendo Power 200. Oh no, wrong wing. Never mind.
yeah. Anyway,
Continue.
but yeah, Nintendo Power back in the day, super important. Now, not important at all.
I would argue that Nintendo Power was only actually important back in the day because there was no internet.
No internet.
We did a show on Nintendo Power, I think.
I think we might have.
And really, the only purpose it served for me was to vicariously live the games my parents wouldn't buy me.
Yep. But yeah, this is if you really want to get the idea of what it was like back in those magazine days, you should play Game Center CX for the the DS. Because that's a good game.
That does pretty well replicate the experience.
It's just sad. I just want to bring it up. What else do we like to say? It's not needed anymore, but I do think.
See you at the crossroads, Nintendo Power.
I hope I'm sure there's somewhere we can download like a scan of every Nintendo Power
At PAX,
ever.
we should get a bunch of people to go out and pour a bottle of whiskey into the river or something.
You can pay for that. I'll pour some $5 hobo one. That's about the right price.
I have fine memories of Nintendo Power.
I also have some fond memories, even though mostly I had GamePro. In fact,
GamePro sucked.
GamePro, they all sucked, right? Every video game magazine.
Nintendo Power was great because it didn't even pretend it wasn't just an ad.
Right, but GamePro, at least when I started getting it, was actually just as good as Nintendo Power, only it didn't cover just Nintendo.
But just Nintendo was all I wanted at that point. From about Nintendo Power 1 through about 90, Nintendo was all I gave one fuck about.
Yes, I didn't even have any magazine in those days.
I subscribed to Nintendo Power from 1.
Yeah.
We got every single one of those bitches.
But yeah, video game magazines.
But anyway, things of the day. So Monkey Magic is a band that many of you have probably never heard of. They're a Japanese-Canadian pop band. And
They got unique at least.
yeah. And for various reasons, I've been a fan of them for a while. And all I want to say is this is a music video from them that's about Lupin the Third, and it's to the melody of the Lupin the Third theme, but with lyrics, and it's animated with Lupin. It's pretty good.
Okay. So check this video out. Since I got my new powerful computer, I've been doing what I can do with it. It's something I couldn't do before, which is play a game with full settings, obviously. But more so than that, I can use Fraps to record the game at full settings without losing any frames, which is pretty amazing. So I've been trying to think of awesome things to make besides boring-ass Let's Play videos and bullshit like that.
Random aside, Let's Play has run its course, guys. You can stop now.
Yeah, I think
they're not good.
I think we have Let's Play of every game, so...
But they're terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, someone here did something that sort of gave me a good idea and is a good thing of the day. It is Half-Life 2 Crossbow Endurance. And basically what he did is he killed 538 things with the crossbow in Half-Life 2, which is
the most satisfying weapon in gaming history.
It's an amazing fucking gun.
Other than the plasma gun or the double shotty in
quote,
Doom 2.
Gun. It's not really, it's a crossbow. It's not a gun. Shoots a hot rebar and has a scope on it. But yeah, he took video of 538 crossbow shots and he used them as the bass drum for the song Cotton Eye Joe. This video is pretty awesome. Check it out.
So should we do a supercut of every time you kill a dude in a game?
I don't know. I'm
Supercut?
just going to start recording a lot of gameplay.
Scott, here's a supercut we could do. Beat Mario 1 and supercut together every time a bad guy dies on screen.
Yeah.
Just boop, 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 boop. Anyway, so there might not be, in the meta moment, a lot of Geek Nights for the next month or so.
That's a long time without any Geek Nights.
So we're going to try to get some guest episodes up, but basically what's happening is PAX is next weekend.
Yep.
Oh my God, if it was this weekend, I'd be in trouble.
Yep.
And independent of PAX, Scott is not going home from PAX. He's going to DC for JangerCon.
That's right.
And right after Scott gets back, I'm probably going to Istanbul for a week. And then I'm either going to be in Hong Kong or Singapore or possibly Germany or maybe Poland. And
all of the above.
Yeah,
of the
so
above.
between all this, there's going to be a dearth of Geek Nights. But
dum,
fear
dum,
not.
dum.
This happens every few years when the stars align and we get busy with our real
This
lives.
is good because when Geek Nights returns, the fuel tank will be fully stocked of fuel.
Oh, also, we're going to PAX Dev too, so we're flying out Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
There probably won't be any shows either after today or after Thursday for a while.
Let us give you,
At least normal shows.
Yeah, if you find yourself in need of podcast and Geek Nights is not available,
Fast karate for the gentleman.
may I suggest Fast Karate for the Gentleman.
That is, in fact, my favorite podcast.
I haven't listened.
Dave Riley is one of my favorite people.
I will honest, I have not listened in years.
You know what? It hasn't changed.
I know.
The one thing I will say, Dave Riley...
I stopped listening in the 24 era.
Dave Riley finally took me up on the offer to, like, for real do panels, and he did a panel at ConnectiCon for us, and it was great. And he did the same panel at Otakon, and he's stepping up his game. So you should reward Dave Riley for stepping up his game. Joel White too. I talk to Dave more. That's the only reason I'm saying Dave more than Joel.
Well,
Joel didn't come to ConnectiCon.
We can support
'cause
Dave.
he's a bum.
Dave is smart and moved to New York, therefore he gets more points.
Yeah, Joel, you should move to New York. In fact, I know someone who needs a roommate. I do.
All right.
But anyway, no, I talk to Dave more, but usually indirectly via Twitter. If you want some horror fiction, check out Pseudopod. It's actually really good. Really
If you
disturbing.
care about sports, there's this TV show on ESPN called PTI. It's pretty much the only show on ESPN worth paying attention to because ESPN is the worst. And they have a podcast that's pretty much just audio of the show, so you don't have to watch it on cable television, especially if you don't have cable television, and it's totally free, and I listen to it every day, but it's actually on hiatus for this week because of Little League World Series. It'll be back next week when Geeknights disappears. What a coincidence.
We will likely have guest episodes and such. I'll try to upload maybe a radio-free Equestria of some fashion before I disappear.
And lastly, if you're not going to PAX and you really would need some Geek Nights, even though there won't be new podcast episodes, there'll still be plenty of Geek Nights content in the form of, say, videos, photos, tweets,
the last 1,000 episodes or so,
newsletters.
all of which are online.
So make sure to go to our website, go to Twitter's, Facebook, Google+, the email newsletter, which you can subscribe on the website.
Yeah,
all
you
the
guys
different,
who can't go to PAX,
a
lot of our PAX lectures are on our website.
Join our Steam group and play CounterStrike Go and other games with other listeners. There is a lot of Geek Nights you can do for the next few weeks.
I wonder if they all realize that this is all just a lie to cover for the fact that we're going to play CounterStrike Go constantly for the next 3 months.
We're actually, it's a secret. We're taking a month off of work to play Counter-Strike.
If I took a month off to play CounterStrike,
I would not play Counter-Strike if I had a month off. I'll tell you. I mean, I played some.
No,
but that would not be my activity for a month.
I took a month off to train at Counter-Strike, I think I could step up to my previous former glory
the
of
thing
FPS
is,
skills.
I'm going to be honest, right?
Are you too old?
No. If I actually had time to train at a game, I would probably train at a game that needed more training, like Dota or something.
I don't know if you'd enjoy Dota,
Well,
even if you were good
I
at
played
it.
a bunch. I have it.
What would be
did you
more
read the
valuable
article?
to you, Scott, playing Dota 2 at the level of the people who play Dota 2, or being that guy who single-handedly kills 14 people on the enemy team with a pistol?
Nobody is that guy.
I've seen
You know who
people
that
like
guy is?
that.
The cheater. That's that guy.
Scott, I played on Source, and actually I got
And
fined.
I'm not the greatest. My main problem is I'm inconsistent, like one match I'll suck and one match I'll be awesome, but it's like sometimes, about half the time, I'm the guy who kills 2 guys with the deagle, like boom, boom. That's it. And it's not a luck thing because it's like I was trying to do it and I did it,
Scott,
But then other times I'm the guy where I go around the corner and I die and I didn't even see anybody.
All right, well, I think we should just talk about the show.
I was trying to segue into it.
Okay. Though, last thing, we are doing 3 events between PAX Prime and PAX Dev. We are doing Academia versus Reality, Psychology, Game Theory, and Games, Wednesday, August 29th at 2:30 in Grand 2.
I don't think people really need to know this. If they're going, they'll see us on the schedule.
Short Subjects in Gaming, Friday, August 31st, 3:30 in the Wolfman, and the Geeknights Board Game Workshop, Saturday, September 1st at 8 p.m. in room 302.
If you're going to PAX, you look in the guidebook, you search for us, you'll find it.
Yeah. So, Counter-Strike. So, right now, Global Offensive doesn't appear to be beta anymore.
I thought it launched. When does it launch?
Well, apparently right now, because here's why we're talking about Counter-Strike. Right now, the top game on Steam, as in total number of people playing, right this second at 6:43 p.m. on on Tuesday, August 21st. 68,000 people are playing Team Fortress 2.
Okay.
49,000 people are playing Dota 2.
Okay.
39,000 people are playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
So there's 10. So if you take all the people who are playing Counter-Strike Go and add 10,000, that's how many people are playing Dota 2. And you add like a few tens of thousands more.
Now it says Counter-Strike Global Offensive, not beta.
Uh-huh.
Beta disappeared. Football Manager, 38,000. Counter-Strike at 32,000.
That's CounterStrike 1.6.
Elder Scrolls at 26,000. Civ 5 at 22,000. Counter-Strike Source at 21,000.
So if you add up the 3 Counter-Strikes together, now they're more than the Team Fortress 2.
By a lot.
By tens of thousands. So at first glance, it's like, oh, Counter-Strike not as popular as TF2 or Dota 2.
Meanwhile,
But
Counter-Strike,
actually,
for a game that is as old as shit.
Counter-Strike came out in, 1999 or 2000?
I first played it at RIT.
I
when
played
was
it
a
at
freshman.
RIT, and let me tell you, I think we did a Counter-Strike show, so I don't want to reiterate
I will
too
link
much.
to that. But basically, Scott was. I don't know if Scott told me or I told him or what. I just remember.
No,
I start to play this game.
A CS Lab guy talked about Counter-Strike, and he said, "Yeah, when you die, you don't respawn." And I was like, "Who wants to play that?"
See, I remember I started playing.
Then
I'm like,
I played
all right,
it.
This looks like Action Quake 2. This is gonna be fucking. And I was dead. And then I started a new round. I was dead.
All right, I think we're recapping the original Counter-Strike show materials. Let's talk about CS:GO.
Well, the point is Counter-Strike Go
is the game.
So, I have waited forever for, I don't know, Team Fortress 2, Tribes 2, Civilization 5. These are games that like were on the horizon of my life for as long as they could possibly be. Duke Nukem Forever. Counter-Strike Go is the first game in a long time that I was personally excited about to an undue degree. And when it came out, the due-ness was not
Undeserved.
Counter-Strike Go is great. It is literally just the next step from Counter-Strike Source.
Right, so let's see. What is Counter-Strike Go? It's Counter-Strike. It is 100% Counter-Strike, but what has changed? Well, the first thing that has changed, I'm going to start with the most significant change, at least in my opinion, and then you can do yours, right?
All right.
I think the most significant change in Counter-Strike Source is the change in the interface that puts a lot more focus on which team has won, and the fact that when you play, say, like a map rotation, it's actually like you're playing 2-10 or you're playing 2-16 or whatever it is. And I've noticed that because of that emphasis in the interface, the biggest numbers are CT wins versus T wins, and it it really gives you that terrorist win is a lot more emphasized. I see a lot more bomb planting and hostage rescuing than in Source or Original on public servers than I have ever seen.
I am going to make a minor counter argument that we've been playing the Counter-Strike Go beta. It's mostly people who already know the deal with Counter-Strike, the clanny, scrimmy type people who are playing this game now to get an edge when competitive play starts for real.
But when you go to Counter-Strike, if you
you've been playing the mode I've been playing, real mode, competitive mode.
Right.
Which, again, is a self-selected sample of the people who want all of that stuff.
Well, here's the thing. They changed...
my final minor counter-argument. All the things you're describing... Like the number of matches and switching teams and all that. That's how scrims have worked in Counter-Strike Source forever.
Right, but here's the thing. Because it is encoded in the software, right, and it's sort of the default mode. If you go in to open up Counter-Strike, old Counter-Strike, right, either of the old ones, and you want to play online, it brings up old school server browser. Find a server and play, right? Or I think this is like a quick connect button, which randomly finds a server with a low ping.
See, now I agree with you here because in that model, I went to my clan server and played with the same people all the time.
So the new Counter-Strike, there's actually 4 different ways to get into a game. There's like start a server, there's go bring up the old school server list, there's all these modes, but the mode I actually use is the baby mode, or you would think is the baby mode, which is find game, and you click find game and there's 4 choices. The 4 choices are, I want to play gun game, which is called Arms Race now. I want to play Demolition, which is sort of a combination of gun game and regular Counter-Strike. I want to play, real Counter-Strike, but sort of casual mode, right? No friendly fire and such. Or I want to play Counter-Strike for serious. Friendly fire on, let's play real Counter-Strike. And if you click either of those last 2 options, it's going to put you on a server, right, that is running default Counter-Strike 5-on-5, where bots replace missing players, and you it actually will set a number of rounds, say 20 rounds, first to 11, 10 wins is
Well, the
11
default
is the winner.
It's whoever is best of 30. So as soon as you get that 16th win as a team.
Yeah, a lot of the servers I've done are best of 20.
Really? I've never seen that.
Anyway, I've also seen the servers that get the 16th win. I've seen that just as much.
Yeah, but the great part is you play as one team, and then your teams swap, and you play the other side.
Right.
So now,
if you're doing best of 30 in you'll play 15 rounds as counter-terrorist, and in the 16th round you'll switch to being terrorist. Now you're going to play a lot less terrorist rounds, right? Because the game is going to end sometime there. So you're not really playing an even number of rounds on both sides. But if you won half the rounds the first half, you are going to play a full number, full.
So
set.
you only don't play an even number if you just kick the shit out of the other team.
Or the other team kicks the shit out of you.
Exactly. But now this is the point Scott's getting at. By making all these things the default for just dudes who've never played Counter-Strike before, remember we did that panel, The Game Makes the Community? What's Counter-Strike known for? Pretty bad. Before the Xbox appeared, before, Halo with voice chat, Counter-Strike was like the benchmark for shitty online community play.
Now it's not even close. Every other game is way worse. The Counter-Strike's community is great compared to the communities of
but look what's
almost
happening
every
here.
game except NS.
By making all this the default, there's this sort of top-down culture of taking the game seriously, playing competitively.
Yeah, it's like it used to be people would play Counter-Strike and they'd just be trying to get the most kills or whatever. Now, if you are playing on one of those servers that you found, sure, if you go click community server and find some modded up server, who knows what's going to happen there. But if you click find game, Counter-Strike competitive, the odds are you're going to not have griefers. It's going to be, people are going to be trying to win.
I've run into such horrid griefing problems.
I have not run into any griefing personally, and people I've played with, everyone tries to win the game. They don't necessarily always try to win by bomb or by rescue, but there's a lot of bombing and a lot of rescuing, whereas before, people just wouldn't even give a shit who had the bomb. It would just be, let's kill each other.
Yeah, now the thing is, I never had those problems in Source and 1.6 because I played on very heavily modded, heavily admin, awesome servers with clan people running them. So I had people managing all this stuff, but now that's kind of the default experience for everyone. It's everyone gets to experience what clan play is like to a big degree.
Yep.
And that, I think, is going to really push Counter-Strike culture in a different direction.
Something else I really like about the new Counter-Strike, right?
Music?
If someone, music we can talk about.
I want to talk about the music.
When someone drops out, there's a bot that is, there's bots.
Press E to take over the bot.
Take over the bot. First time that happened to me, I was like, oh my God, what a great idea, right? It's like, of course, I'm dead, but we have a bot on our team. Obviously, I can take over for the bot, and I can be him.
Oh my God, I was on a server where we was a really close match, and it was 4 good people on my team, and then 1 noob, which is fine. He was we were all voice chatting, and he was like, what do I do? We're like, you follow this guy, but follow the bomb guy, and he was trying. So we're sitting there, and there's 1 guy left, and it's the bot, and the bot is guarding the planted bomb. So the noob, out of nowhere,
takes over the bot.
He says, and I quote, press E to take over, and everyone in the team is like, no! And he hits E, and then he's just standing there, and then he dies, and then they defuse the bomb.
Right.
I almost cried.
I want to tell you about the time, though. The first time I took over a bot was really uneventful. Nothing happened because the match just sort of ended, and I didn't even see anybody. But the second time I took over a bot, I can't, basically, I took over, and this bot was in the middle of nowhere, but the hostages needed rescuing, and I had no idea where the other team was or anything. So I'm just like, all right, let's go. The bot had a deagle. I went over. It was in Italy. I go into the house, right? And I'm looking around the house, and there's nothing going on. I grab some hostages, and I walk out of the house. When I walk out of the house, I realized the guy was climbing up the crates to go in the top window as I was leaving through the bottom door. I just turned to the right, and boom, 1 shot as the bot took him out, turned to the left, right, to start running with the hostages.
And there's a dude.
The dude is just at the end of the tunnel. He comes around. He just appeared at the end of the tunnel as soon as I started running down the tunnel. Boom, 1 shot. Taken over. The thing is, I'm pissed because those kills don't count for me. They count for the bot. I'm like, no, I did it, but I died that round, so I don't really deserve it.
My most glorious moment so far in Counter-Strike Go is, so it was not demolition. It was a gun game. And I was Golden Knife, and there was one other guy who was also...
I gotta tell you, I suck so bad at gun game. I'm never golden knife.
I'm golden knife 90% of the gun games I play.
I have not golden knifed even
but
once.
I don't. I've only
let alone one.
I've only won one gun game so far.
I've won 0 gun games, and I've never even golden knifed.
It is so rare that I am not golden knife when someone else wins, and usually I'm knifed to death by one of the other golden knives.
I've never golden knifed.
So my most glorious moment yet, I was in that baggage handling map, and I jumped onto that ledge, and I see the golden knife guy run by. I jumped down on top of him and golden knifed him to death from the air.
There's something about that map I just suck so bad at, because even though I've never won gun game or arms race, when I'm on the sort of jungle map, right, I'm doing pretty well. I'm like getting to pistols and such.
I spawn camp the back. I just hide, and then I kill everyone as they spawn as soon as they become
on that
visible.
stupid baggage handling map, I can't even get past the stupid fucking shotguns half the time.
What? Just run down the ramp and up the other ramp and shoot anyone you see.
The shotguns are just, I can't hit anybody.
You gotta run down the ramp where they can't dodge you.
Oh, I'm so bad at that stupid map.
No, I'm seriously golden gun like every round.
Anyway,
golden knife.
Anyway.
Yeah, all the other weird mods of CounterStrike do not exist yet.
Yeah.
Which is probably
I think
good.
there's a zombie mod that someone's already ported over or whatever.
What? We should do a separate show on how come there's this culture in PC games of these people who
You want to play zombies? This dude, I got this game for you called Left 4 Dead 2.
No, here's the
problem.
problem.
You heard of it?
It's not just zombies. People make these god-awful, like the Warcraft 3 mod for Counter-Strike 1.6. These god-awful, garbage, unbalanced, like non-analogous mods. And there's like 5,000 people playing these things, and they have like the worst maps, the worst tech. Like, who plays these games?
I actually kind of really like bad maps. I want Counter-Strike Go Icy World real bad.
The Icy World, I could make a great argument that it is actually a great map. I'm talking about like Crack House or Pool. Those maps suck
Simpsons
ass.
Town.
Simpsons Town. I actually played a lot of gun game in that map.
That's what I'm saying.
I hate that map though.
I actually kind of like the gun game Lego-y map with the upstairs and the downstairs.
That one's okay.
But their mods of it, it's like it comes into a lot of different variations.
It's always like Scouts and Knives, no gravity.
I actually like the crazy orange gun game map from Counter-Strike Source.
No, you know what?
The one I'm talking about.
Here's the only problem with Counter-Strike Go. The only bad thing I have to say about it. Right now, there's only a small set of maps, so there's no militia yet.
I also don't like how you have to choose demolition or hostage mission. It's like I want to sort of mix it up, guys.
Well, you see, if you want to choose for real, you join a server that has a rotation you like. You get into a community.
But then I gotta like search for like SV Pure and stuff like that.
No, you just gotta know a good clan.
I'm gonna start a server is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
The thing is, I like my Anarchy Death clan dudes, and I feel like I want to play with them more than I want to play with you guys.
Anyway, I'm gonna go and let's go down the list of the other things that are new in Counter-Strike
Okay,
Go.
so the crosshair is somewhat contentious, but I found a pretty big survey in a Counter-Strike forum, and it seems like it's about 60-40 like-hate of the new crosshair, the default one. I think it's great, and I think anyone who says otherwise doesn't understand it and is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it had the old Counter-Strike crosshair would spread out, showing you that your weapon spread is getting wider and narrower.
So this one does too, but you realize, guys, it has 2 different spreads, and it shows a ton of information if you pay attention to it.
Right, it shows you basically the spreads at different ranges is what it's telling you.
It's
sort
also
of like
showing
it's a lot like the grenade launcher in NS1.
It's also showing you the difference between running, walking, and what the difference will be if you stop running to start walking, and it turns into that X if you're aiming at a friend.
That is the best part, is the X aiming at a friend, especially when you're aiming at something, because when you have a high-resolution screen and it's basically a black dot through some smoke, and you're aiming through the smoke, you'll get the X, like, hey, don't shoot, that's your friend, which is important on the competitive friendly fire server.
Now, along those lines, that crosshair is very important because the biggest, most important change is that you don't pick, Arctic or whatever. You just get a model, and the models for the characters are thematically set to match the map.
Yep. So when you're on
Team Fortress 2 style banter and everything, this is how we will gain our freedom.
Yep. So it's like the revolutionaries on this map, or the sort of urban terrorists on that map.
Now, this removes
the GIGN. Have you noticed that on the Italy map, it's the GIGN, which makes no sense?
It depends. It could be a foreign force.
The GIGN do not belong in Italy. They should have some Italian counter-terrorist force. I think there would be an international incident if the GIGN went to Italy.
Probably. We're already, remember, Counter-Strike, I read this interview a long time ago. I'm paraphrasing based on my memory of 2001-ish. Someone saying that Counter-Strike was designed to begin the game the moment negotiations broke down. The game is literally between when negotiations break down and either all the terrorists are dead or the terrorists or the hostages are rescued.
You realize, though, the problem is, in the real world, if counter-terrorists lose, more counter-terrorists show up, and the terrorists are still where they started.
No, because the terrorists got their objective.
Which was?
Blow up the arms depot.
Right, but then the terrorists are escaping, and now you're chasing them.
That's a different game.
What if it's a rescue the hostage mission, though?
So maybe if you don't rescue the hostages, then the diplomatic incident happens. Because you realize it's like the Iran affair or that Russian thing where if you send the counter-terrorist to actually rescue the hostages and you fuck up, sending the next round is usually not what happens. Instead, there's political involvement and international.
But the terrorists are still there with their hostages, so you got to do something.
Yeah, but that's a different game.
Okay.
This game is just when the president says, send them in.
All right. What else has changed in this new version?
So the model's changing removes one minor element that I used to like, which was
using Arctic guy in the desert.
I used Arctic in every map because when I killed a motherfucker, I wanted him to remember it was me and that I didn't even need the camouflage. I am this standout white-ass dude in the middle of the desert with a deagle, and I still killed you.
I picked whichever guy I felt like. On counter-terrorist, I always picked GIGN no matter what.
I was Arctic all the time no matter what.
On terrorist, I chose either Phoenix Connection or Nerdy Glasses guy. I only chose Arctic if it was snowing, and that was even sometimes I didn't do that. And the fourth terrorist guy I never picked ever.
But
the bandana guy, never picked him.
So now there is no meta advantage of choosing one over the other because they're set to the map. But two, by having it themed like this, coupled with the music, which I think is very artfully done, it would have been very easy to ruin Counter-Strike by adding music and making it more Call of Duty-ish or some other kind of game.
I think the music is very NS-ish. Right?
Yes, because it tells you what's going on in a very subtle way. Like, bomb gets planted, suddenly there's the music of uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not like it's a song playing while you're playing the game.
It's like da-da-da-da, Hans Zimmer style.
Yeah, it's the music is action movie music letting you know what's going on. It brings more of that old action Quake natural selection into the Counter-Strike. Sort of, you know... you think it was be unpure because it wasn't ever in Counter-Strike, but actually it's sort of a what's it called? The genetic thing where suddenly your kid has red hair. The recessive gene of the action Quake has reemerged in the Counter-Strike Go.
But this
is expressing itself.
So the immersion, the banter, the themed character models, and the music together basically make Counter-Strike Go a perfect fusion of 1.6 and Source in that
plus an upgrade of modern technologies.
Was not immersive. 1.6 was a sport. It was not immersive. I did not in any way.
It still is.
Yes, I did not in any way think of it as an immersive, like I am this counter-terrorist. I was not involved.
I still
in this
don't
game.
think that, but
but playing the game, I am much more immersed in the game world because of all these elements, which Source did better because it was technologically better, but Source was less of a sport. For reasons I don't want to get into because we're not talking about that. Yep. If you disagree with me, I'll simply say that right now, Counter-Strike Go, because it just went live, is the #1 game. Counter-Strike 1.6 has been consistently more popular than Counter-Strike Source forever.
Yep.
And Counter-Strike's basically, once Go came out, Source lost a ton of players. 1.6 didn't lose any.
Yep. Let's talk about the fire. Right? The Molotovs and the incendiary
grenades. I use
grenades.
those as area denial highly effectively.
That's pretty much all they do is area denial. But they are awesome because what I tend to do is, you know, it's that one thing you really need in Counter-Strike is you go down a hallway and you can go right or you can go left. But you're so worried, what if I go left? I'm turning my back to the right. A bad guy could appear right there.
I still will appear, Scott. I just fucking run through fire. I ignore HE grenades because in a clan match...
HE grenades you can ignore.
In a clan match, that doesn't work. But against puppies... Yeah, they don't expect me to come through the flame.
But now, right, when I turn left, I can throw the flame to the right and feel a little bit safer about doing that. Whereas before, it was you just had to sort of slowly turn back and forth real quick until you got around the corner to make sure nobody was coming.
You know where I use it the most? on Aztec, rather than sniping the bridge, I'll just wait at the bridge for like 20 seconds, and then I'll just flame the edge of the bridge.
You know what?
I remember I
still play on Aztec my old strategy.
Secret staircase.
Secret staircase down, throw the grenade from below the bridge up into the other side, distracting those guys so that my snipers win the bridge, then go up the other secret staircase. First time Aztec loaded when I played CSGO, I did my secret staircase because I'm like, is it still there? It's still there, bitches.
Not like 1Q84, you get there and it's not there anymore.
I popped up on the other end of the secret staircase. The whole other team was there, not even looking at the secret staircase. They were all looking down the hallway or into the room. I shot one dude in the back, started shooting another guy, and then I died, but that's how it goes.
Really? You should have headshotted him. You could have done much better.
How was I supposed to headshot 4 dudes?
With 4 clicks.
After I killed the first dude, they started looking at me. I'm lucky I managed to even hurt a second dude.
Scott, it would take 2 seconds to click on 4 heads.
They weren't all together in one lump. They were all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why we're not A-team players. We're not top tier Counter-Strike.
And I had a P90. It wasn't like I was right on top. I wasn't that close. They were.
Oh, so the guns. Right now, the shotguns are slightly OP, and
You think the shotguns are OP?
So yes, I
I think the shotguns suck.
do. Are you kidding?
I can't hit shit with that.
So let me
Unless
put it
you're
this way.
really close, which I guess is what a shotgun's supposed to do. But
They tweaked it.
especially that stupid sawed-off one. Oh, fuck that
Are
thing.
you kidding? That thing is one of the best guns.
It can only hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah. Do you know how much damage that does from a surprising distance?
I can't hit anybody with it.
Maybe you just suck. I have not played on the same server as you yet. I think we need to do some versus gun game and
I
see what
cannot
happens.
hit anybody with the stupid. When I play gun game, it used to be when I played gun game in the old gun game. It would start off with the AWP, and I'd be like, fuck, and I would basically as soon as I got past the AWP, then I'd be on a roll. I'd start killing everybody, right? But it took me like 1 or 2 rounds, and I'd always be behind. And those 1 or 2 times when I got a kill with the sniper rifle right away, I'd be set because then I'd buy my way past the stupid scout, and I'd get right through to the end.
Unless you get knifed.
Unless I got knifed, which happens sometimes. In the new gun game, you don't start off with a sniper rifle. You start off with like what? This like the MP5 or something, right? So I'm like, hey, and I get right into it, But then when I get to the shotguns, I'm just like, ugh, I can't fucking kill anyone.
I found with the way the
because I
spreads
can't
go,
get close enough to anyone.
I am the best in any game in terms of just my kill ratios with submachine guns and shotties, rather than the
I'm best
rifles.
with submachine guns and assault rifles
Because the SMGs have a very low spread even when running.
Yep.
And there's that new SMG that doesn't slow you down at all. Oh my god.
Yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage though.
Doesn't matter. Headshots, baby.
Yeah, I mean the thing. Yeah, I usually get headshot with it, but it's still I prefer P90 and MP5. Those are my guns. And AK and M4. I mean M4. I mean the game even sort of tells you that the M4 is the best gun. There's these little hints when you're waiting for stuff to load, and one of the hints is like, yeah, the M4 is great at medium range. And with practice, it's great at long and short range too. And it's like, so basically the M4 is the best, which I already knew.
They ruined CounterStrike though. There's no silencer on the M4 yet.
Are you kidding? I know. I got the M4 and I pushed secondary attack and nothing happened.
So I got the M4 and I pushed secondary attack, and when it didn't happen, I thought, oh, this must not be the M4. It must be some other gun, and I just didn't notice.
The models did change a little bit, so like the MP5 looks different. At least
is it just me, or the models actually look kind of shitty in like low res?
they don't look shitty in low res. It's just that
or low polygon count. Like they look cheap.
Not for me, but the thing that bothers me about them is they don't look the same. So it's like I can't tell I have the MP5 because it doesn't look the way the MP5 looked in old CounterStrike.
Because you see less of the gun, I feel.
Yeah, you see like the top of it more than the side because you don't get that. It's more like it's closer to Doom than the sort of.
So you haven't talked about the decoy grenade, but I think it's because based on our conversation earlier, you didn't know what it did until
I didn't know what it
recently.
did. I didn't really experiment
So
with it.
here's what it does. If you throw it, it makes sounds like whatever gun you have for a while.
So now here's the thing. It's it sounds like whatever gun you have.
Yes.
I thought it always sounded like assault rifle.
No.
Oh, because I was like, this shows how much I didn't know. I was like, if someone throws one in round one, it sounds like assault rifle.
In train, when we're terrorists, right? I'll run way past the dumpster, that long hall where there's the big ambush that always happens.
Yep.
By myself. The whole rest of the team rushes some other way. I don't care which way they go. I throw smoke, fire, decoy, and then
You just throw all the grenades.
smoke, fire, decoy, and I also shoot. So if the counter-terrorists went that way, they think we rushed that way, and they come back to fight. You'd think they'd figure it out. They've never figured it out.
You can have one person completely fake a rush using all the grenades.
Now, the trouble with the decoy is that Prince of Nothing style, the numb finger doesn't feel the barbs. A decoy doesn't do anything against a nub. I throw a decoy around, I throw a decoy and I'm running away, and I see a nub just kind of walk around the corner, like right toward it.
It's like, dude, didn't you hear this gunfire? Why would you go there?
Granted, I just turned around and shot him anyway because he's a nub. He didn't know, but
Yeah.
oh my god, I love CounterStrike.
The other thing in this game, right?
The other thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, there's a million other things.
The thing is, suffice it to say,
because it's a new CounterStrike, I really want to shoot people and practice shooting people. So I will often, against my best interests, go to somewhere I'm going to get shot and die.
I will also
just because it's more exciting than hanging around with the hostages
because
or hanging around with the bomb.
Because there's so many nubs, I rush because I don't get to do that when I normally play CounterStrike.
Right. So I've been doing a lot of stupid shit just because I want to get into a gunfight, even when the gunfight is not the place to be.
Oh my god, in dust, like regular dust, I'll just fucking run out into the middle with like a P90.
Dude, I played regular dust twice, right? Both times, I just rushed bomb site A 100%, and no one was ever there. Everyone was like messing around with the tunnel. And
oh my god! In Kabul,
area.
I'll run into the apartments and then I'll like hang back or like duck into the sniper room and like set up an ambush. I'll wait maybe 5 seconds before I give up and just keep rushing because no one's gonna come.
But I mean, no one goes bomb site A. You could just go there, put the bomb, and wait.
Go A.
And it's like we went A like 10 times in a row. Nobody came there until after we planted the bomb, and then as soon as they came through those wooden doors, I'm like, guys, when are they going to go to A and meet us there? And they never met us at A until after we planted the bomb.
Thing is, after this rush of noobs, I think I'll do most of my play on either our own servers or the clan servers that I used to play on. I got to figure out when the clans will have their servers ready to
I think
rock.
I just want to set up our own server. That is the way to go.
Is it going to run gun game or what?
Well, no, I think we'll run normal Counter-Strike for
All right.
reals. And then since it's our server, if we want to do a gun game, we can do that. But I think by default, I even kind of want to leave it public. So I'm thinking like by default, we'll leave it as like public.
We'll make it private when we do scheduled events.
Yeah,
like,
I'm thinking like public, regular Counter-Strike when I'm like at work and shit. And then when we're playing, we can take it over. We can make it private. We can make a gun game.
Because what I want to do is I'm good at Counter-Strike. This is my game. I've been playing this game from almost day one.
You know, that's the thing that really upsets me is like, okay, I'm better than Nubs, but I'm not great, as you can, tell by my not winning gun game.
I'm a really good skier. I do double black diamonds. I'm really crazy all over the mountain. And some 80-year-old dude or some 10-year-old kid will just fly by me 1,000 times better than me.
But what upsets me is that I've been doing this shit since 12 years, and some guy who's been playing it for like a month will come and kick my ass. And
Scott,
I'm like,
because that guy's been playing it for a month straight.
I've been playing it. If you add
You've
up
been
all
playing
the
it off and
Counter-Strike
on
time,
for 10 years.
12 years. If you
How
add up all
long?
my Counter-Strike playing together, it's at least 6 months.
So, Scott,
of
how much of a gap was there between when we kind of stopped playing Source and recently?
Does it really matter?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, it does. Think about DDR. I didn't play DDR a lot for like a year and a half, and I started playing again. You know what? I couldn't do the 9-footers anymore without some practice. When I started playing Go again...
Well, I better go home and play Counter-Strike to get those skills back.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
Counter-Strike-
get the golden knife someday.
I might, at MagFest, if they have the PC area set up, go play some Counter-Strike.
That is one thing I am curious about, right? And I've always been curious about this, is I know that there are people who are better than me, right? That is a fact.
You want to know why they're better?
They're just better.
Scott, no, I play on a lot of like curated passwordy clan servers. You know what? The people who are better, how we talk about geeks versus nerds?
Yep.
They are all Counter-Strike nerds.
Right.
That is their thing. But
there are also people who cheat. There are cheating people.
Not that many.
There are still some.
It's
right?
hard to cheat in the modern era of Counter-Strike.
You'd be surprised. There are
What do you base that on?
I'm just saying there are cheaters out there, all right? I really want to, because I never have, play CounterStrike in a closed environment. This is the thing. If I play CounterStrike in a public
So Scott,
server,
I had that experience. LAN parties we don't go to that much. I used to when I was,
Right.
before. So many years ago, me and Scott Johnson were running some anime content for some con somewhere in Rochester. I think it was in some student school.
Astronomicon, right?
No, it was some other bigger, better con.
Okay.
Well, Astronomicon was the sci-fi con. This was like an anime and gaming con.
Mm.
So it was like 11 o'clock at night, midnight, and we went over to the LAN, and there was Counter-Strike. So we're like, all right, so we sit down, and the two of us were just Neo. We were accused of cheating. We killed everyone.
Right.
Our team, just literally, our entire team would die except us, and we would single-handedly kill everyone, plant the bomb, to the point that people were getting pissed off and looking around the room, looking to figure out who we were.
Right. So this is what I'm saying is I've only ever played Counter-Strike. 99% of my Counter-Strike play has been on a public server where there's someone who's way better than me, or in a private server with only people I know, in which case I'm sort of the best.
Scott, I've played on clan servers where it's everyone I know, at least in the context of the game, and I can spectate them. They're not cheating. They're just that good.
There are people that could be cheating.
I know, but I'm saying
They're generic
I've
sort of
had your-
DirectX level. I want to play at a LAN with people I don't know
Scott, I
know are not cheating.
I have had your experience with people I know are not cheating. There are people who are that good.
What do they do that I haven't learned in 12
So Scott,
years?
what
of
do
playing?
we do now? We could have been that good, and in fact, we were close to being that good at RIT when we played Counter-Strike every day for multiple hours.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
It's
Also, we're older now.
How am I supposed to win gun games?
Scott, our bodies physically slow down. I have beaten max 300. And you know what? I think within a few more years, I will not be physically capable of doing so again. I'm serious. I have slowed down as a human being.
I did turn down my mouse sensitivity for this Counter-Strike, and that helped a lot.
Oh, Scott, also, SteelSeries, my fancy mouse, raw mode, it's great.
Yeah, my mouse is also a gaming mouse. It's a Logitech G500
Whatever.
something.
This thing's got a screen on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's pretty good.
Mine is also pretty good.
I'm also wearing it out.
Let's end the show. It's too long.
It's not too long. Well, yeah, it is too long because I'm going to go play Counter-Strike. This is, suffice it to say, Counter-Strike Go is the next evolution of
It is the same.
Counter-Strike.
It is Counter-Strike. It's just modern for modern machines and modern sensibilities.
As I predicted,
and modern polish.
it did not affect the numbers of CS1.6, but it is decimating Source. I predict that as time goes on, no one's going to play Counter-Strike Source except nutjobs, and the majority of Counter-Strike players will be playing Go.
There will be a few
or
thousand.
1.6.
There will be a few thousand people playing.
Yes, nutjobs. I think Counter-Strike 1.6 is going to maintain its 30 to 50,000 players
until those
without
people
interruption
until
for-
those people die.
So, a lot of new people are continuing to join that Counter-Strike community. Yeah, I was playing some 1.6 the other day, and you know what? A lot of the people on the voice chat, way young.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like StarCraft. They join this community because they feel like it's a more pure competition. Kind of like how, to this day, I think that Lithium 2 Deathmatch is to me a better competition of certain kinds of skills in the deathmatch Quake style than Quake 3 is.
Well, the thing is, Lithium Deathmatch, while it is very great, it has many weird things like the grappling hook. And
the
shit
grappling
like
hook,
that.
you hold a button and a grapple shoots out.
Yes, but I mean, it has a lot of weird, crazy things like grappling hooks.
That's the only weird, crazy thing.
I think it has another. I remember having a couple other crazy things.
Yeah, the runes, which are identical to Dolar in Quake 3. Dolar. You guys realize the doubler in Quake 3, it was only in the last year that Scott and I realized that they were saying doubler.
No, I knew that they were saying doubler a long time ago, but the thing is, it was so rare that a map actually had the doubler on it. Most maps just have a quad damage and that's it. Very few maps have the doubler.
Scott, Lithium Deathmatch has the same runes. It's not different. The only difference is that, Quake 2 weapons, Quake 2 maps, which are actually much more three-dimensional.
I like
in
the Quake 2
2
maps a lot better than Quake 3 maps are no good.
Yeah, but it also had that one change, the grappling hook, which made everything more three-dimensional.
Yes, but it's sort of it has a little bit of that ridiculousness to it.
No, Scott, you want ridiculousness? So there's a mod where instead of the laser grappling hook, which is pretty straightforward.
It's a grappling hook you swing and throw it like
yes,
a hook.
with physics. So you had to bind 4 buttons to use this grappling hook. Grapple, ungrapple, draw in, reel out. And let me tell you, that was crazy bullshit that I really enjoyed, but I understand that most people would not enjoy that.
Yeah. CounterStrike, grappling hook. Add it.
Oh, CounterStrike. This has been Geeknights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music, Kat Lee for web design, and Brando K for the logos.
Be sure to visit our website at frontrowcrew.com for show notes, discussion, news, and more.
Remember, Geeknights is not 1, but 4 different shows. Sci-Tech Mondays, Gaming Tuesdays, Anime Comic Wednesdays, and Indiscriminate Thursdays.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.